Hello, everybody, and welcome to this election edition of Midstate Magazine. I'm Warren Brenniger.
And I'm Davita Jackson. Warren, did you vote yesterday?
I did vote, actually. Did you?
Of course I voted. I told my family, my friends, my boyfriend, everyone who could comprehend. I sent it in a letter. I talked on the phone. I'm not the kind of girl who likes to vote alone. Who'd you vote for?
Actually, you're not supposed to ask people who they vote for. That's like a personal thing.
I won't tell nobody, I promise. Who'd you vote for?
Oh, it's just going to be a secret right here.
Me and you.
Just me and you?
They're not out there, me and you.
Okay.
Who'd you vote for?
That's a private thing to be.
Okay.
Are you going to tell me who you voted for?
No, I just wanted to know who you voted for. But it's just good that you voted. We all need to vote.
Voting is very, very good, very patriotic thing to do.
Yes, it is.
As you see, I'm sporting the Patriots today, so.
Of course.
But you know what we should do? Let's kick it over to Lisa and Kendra at Midstate News.
The Midstate your phone.
And filling in for Jesse Dunnan, I'm Kendra Cruz. To begin tonight's news, Josh Fletcher brings us a sneak peek at how Bradley students are writing for the big screen.
Hi, this is Josh Fletcher reporting from Midstate News. I'm at Bradley's first ever Internet 2 course. The Internet 2 is a high-speed broadband connection used for educational purposes. The course is taught by Dr. Thomas Pellikill. I had a chance to sit down and speak with him.
We are experimenting with it and trying to find the most appropriate way to make use of this technology platform.
The Internet 2 allows students from Bradley to interact with other students from all across the nation and the world.
Many universities, I know University of Minnesota, University of Florida has a dance course in which several university campuses are participating.
Overall, students here appear to be enjoying their experience with Internet 2. For Midstate News, this is Josh Fletcher. Back to you, Lisa and Jesse.
Many students feel that the class is both helpful and necessary if any dreams of becoming a professional screenwriter are reached.
In health news, an estimated 18 million U.S. citizens will live to be over 85 years old by 2050. With that in mind, experts feel that better long-term care for the elderly is needed. Without better health care, Emily Friedman, who writes a monthly column for the publication Healthcare Forum, said, quote, "We have a train wreck coming." She fears that the many years elderly people spend alone can ultimately lead to a person's death. Friedman also believes that physicians need to explain what patients need to do for themselves in clear language. Friedman argues if we are serious about taking care of people, the criteria for good care must be based on the patient's needs, not what the doctor or payer prefers.
South Peoria residents and board members are in battle to save a pool built nearly 80 years ago. The Park District is facing a tight budget that may force a tax increase if Logan Pool is to be saved. Due to low attendance this past summer, Logan Pool created a deficit of just over $50,000. In addition, over $150 of repair money is needed. Many argue that saving the pool is pointless because of the popular Gwen Family Aquatic Center that also resides in South Peoria. However, longtime pool visitor Lavita Rica says, "The sixth generation of my family will no longer be able to swim if Logan is closed." As the decision is neared, many argue for tradition the same as Rica.
Peoria's riverfront can now be called its own district. City Council recently decided to allow Water Street to fly its very own banners. The area between the Riverplex and State Street is now allowed to have banner decorations on its light posts year-round. Plans for the district's first flag comes from a group of riverfront businesses called Pride. The group's blue and yellow banners will cover approximately 30 poles and are paid for, installed, and stored by its members. The city plans to provide brackets for the light poles, which attach to the banners. A $100 permit fee will be required from businesses looking to hang flags in the new district. Out with the old and in with the new should be the motto of local dentist Floyd Rashid. Rashid wants to build condominiums in the area between Knoxville and Glen. The proposed building site is currently occupied by historic homes. Rashid feels that the condos would complement other homes in the area. Local residents, however, are upset by the proposal. Despite protest, Rashid has already made plans with contractors and architects. If the project goes through, the historic homes will be destroyed. In a response to the city's Historic Preservation Commission, Rashid said, "I am not going to put subsidized housing on the property. I'm not going in there to deteriorate the neighborhood.
Several weeks ago, students at Bradley University were given the treat of listening to a lecture given by Roger K. Newman, a professor at New York University. Newman spoke on the controversial topics that our nation currently faces.
Midstate News' very own Ryan Campen had a chance to sit down with the professor to see what Newman had to say.
Censorship, the internet, and terrorism. These three extremely hot topics of the day mark the occasion of Bradley University's Robertson Lecturer, New York University Law School's Roger K. Newman. Today I have the distinct pleasure of having the chance to sit down and have a few minutes of his time. Roger, welcome and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. First question, I'd like you to go ahead and tell me a little bit about your lecture that you have that's coming up here very soon.
Well, I'll be talking about censorship, how government tries to keep people from expressing themselves and reading and seeing what they want, the internet, which needs no introduction, and terrorism, which is much newer than censorship. Terrorism has been around for a while, of course, but in the present vein, in terms of how it affects our rights, what we do every day, it's been around only since 9/11 of last year. Censorship has been around, I guess, at least since the Greeks. There's always been censorship. I suppose it's part of human nature to keep other people from doing what they want, and that includes reading what they want and seeing what they want in art museums, on TV even, certainly on movies. But how that connects with the internet, this vast interconnected network of networks, and specifically how it affects terrorism is what I'll be talking about tonight.
Okay. And these three topics, what made you decide to focus on these three topics in this lecture series that you're offering?
I've always had an interest in censorship, going back to writing about major figures in the history of free speech and how it affects us. My book on Hugo Black. I've had an interest in censorship. I once wrote a book on movie censorship called Banned Films. I've lectured about the Supreme Court and civil liberties extensively. So I'm just trying to tie together my interests with the subject terrorism that's of such vital importance to us.
Okay. And how do you really feel that censorship and the internet merge in together with terrorism, that you would be able to give a lecture like this?
Well, the Patriot Act, which Congress passed just about a year ago, has the potential of greatly limiting our speech online, almost anything we do online. It allows the government to engage in widespread electronic surveillance of our emails, of our telephone messages, of anything we do online. It just affects, and it will be any federal law that could be broken, the government can engage in surveillance in as a way to protect itself. This is unprecedented. The dangers to democracy are inherent in such a law. That did not prevent Congress from passing it. And pointing out those dangers to anyone who wants to listen here tonight, to the students, faculty, the people in Peoria, I just thought was very important. It's probably, aside from the so-called war on terrorism that we're fighting, who knows to what extent, is something that affects us all. We should know more about us so that we can be active members, active citizens of democracy.
Okay. Also, as you mentioned, you had written a biography about Hugo Black, and for our viewers who don't know, could you go ahead and explain a little bit about Hugo Black and tell why you were interested in writing this? You spent 26 years researching him and writing the story, and that's quite a lifetime of writing there.
Hugo Black was a fascinating man. Perhaps the easiest way to say it is that he was, in his youth, a member of the Ku Klux Klan in Alabama. At the same time, he was staunchly liberal throughout his whole life. His hero was Thomas Jefferson and a member of the Ku Klux Klan. That's quite a combination. When he went on the Supreme Court, the joke was he wouldn't have to buy a new robe. He can dye the white one black. How does one join a member of such a group and be active in such a group and not in the beatings and all that, yet at the same time be such a liberal? Well, the short answer is go read the book. The long answer is he was a politician who would do anything to get elected, as any good politician does. At the same time, he was a brilliant trial lawyer. At the same time, he was an intellectual. To use in trials ancient rhetorical techniques, reading to juries in Alabama 80 years ago from learned Englishmen, Sir Henry Maine, going in the Senate, sponsoring the minimum wage law, and being on Supreme Court, the leading figure in civil liberties for a broad generation, is quite a lot. I found that whole combination intriguing and fascinating, and it kept me going.
Well, thank you very much. I'm getting notice that we're out of time here. So once again, I'd like to thank Roger Newman for joining us today, and I hope that some of our viewers got a chance to listen to you speak. Lisa, Jesse, back to you.
Pheasant season turned ugly for one Minnesota man while hunting in South Dakota. Michael Murray was shot by another hunter. What is different about this case is the fact that the person who shot Murray wasn't a person, but was in fact his year-old Irish setter puppy. Murray was lining up a photo of the 7 birds his hunting party had shot while his loaded 12-gauge shotgun laid on the ground next to his dog. The frisky puppy, not knowing what to do, stepped on the gun, which went off and hit Murray in the ankle. The men in the hunting party drove Murray to a nearby relative's house. Murray was then taken by ambulance to the local hospital. He received 15 stitches and a night in the hospital. Doctors believe Murray will make a full physical recovery.
And now with sports, talking a little bit about the upcoming women's basketball season. Chad, what's happening?
Yes, ladies, the team last year had a nice season, and this year they're going to continue their winning ways, I have a feeling. Now that the fall season is upon us, basketball is just around the corner. And for the Bradley women's basketball team, they feel that there's a great deal of potential this year. Even though they're picked to finish 6th in the Valley, this team feels they can put pressure on the front runners. For more on the women's basketball team, here's Jonathan Dean.
Basketball season has arrived, and for Bradley's women's team, they hope to continue their improved play over the past couple of years. After coming off a 16-12 season a year ago, Bradley will look to make some noise in the Valley this year. Head coach Paula Busher feels if they play consistently, they will continue to improve.
I think we've got a lot of potential this year. How good we're going to be, in all honesty, depends on our consistency. We've got to learn to set better screens. We've got to learn to come off screens and then play more consistent on the defensive end. But this team is led by 3 seniors. Then you go straight to 5 sophomores and 5 freshmen. We can be very good, but we've got to get a lot more consistent day in and day out.
During the offseason, the women's team focused on building physical strength. Even with this newly gained muscle, Coach Busher feels the key to winning is defensive intensity.
I think our strength, our physical strength, should be a factor. I think the fact that we can go a little bit deep, we've got some versatility in our bench, that we hopefully can put on some full court presses and some full court situations, that will play. I think our defensive intensity will play a great deal into our success this season.
With the newly gained athleticism, Bradley's women's basketball fans should be excited for the upcoming season.
The Braves will begin their exhibition season Saturday as they will host the Premier All-Stars. Then the real excitement begins as they will play their home opener against Loyola Chicago on November 30th. For Midstate Magazine Sports, I'm Jonathan Dean.
Thanks, Jonathan. Well, the men's soccer team got some good news today. Bradley President David Broski announced that the new facility for the men's soccer team will be named Shea Field, dedicated to Jim Shea, Vice President of Special Projects for the Bradley Chiefs Club. Shea Field is located at the old Peoria Chiefs Stadium. Bradley will begin play at Shea Field for the 2003 season. In other soccer news, the Missouri Valley Conference Soccer Tournament kicks off on November 9th. In the first round matchups, the lower seed will host each game. The winners will then advance to Maryland Heights, Missouri for the semifinals and championship games. Bradley currently sits in 5th place and would be at Southwest Missouri State to begin tournament play. Briefly, the men's basketball team has been tabbed for a 6th place finish this year in the conference play. According to a preseason poll from League Media, Creighton, picked for 1st place, had 25 of the 30 first place votes. Southern Illinois grabbed the other 5. Rounding out the top 5 picks were Wichita State in 3rd place, followed by Illinois State in 4th and Drake in 5th place. Next week, we'll be taking a look at the men's men's basketball team, and hopefully they can rebound from a disappointing season last year.
We'll hope for it. For Midstate News, I'm Lisa Trefone.
And I'm Kendra Cruz. Back to more with Davita and Warren.
Thanks, guys. That was great.
Davida, do politics interest you at all? Are you really into the politics?
Actually, I love politics, and I'm thinking about I could go to law school after college because it doesn't really matter what major you have to go to law school. And I've helped in my hometown with elections and campaigning and things, and I just love that aspect of it. And I hope to do that here in Peoria.
So would you say you're more interested in like the small town community politics, or are you looking to go to like Washington or something?
Washington, because Washington has a lot of problems and issues that I think that I could solve. So that's why I love politics, and I try to make sure that everyone feels the same way I do. Because I want my views to rub off on you.
Yeah. So
my view is that everyone should vote and be involved in the government.
So you'd be like a clean politician. You wouldn't be.
Of course.
You wouldn't be scraping any money off the top.
No. I would be good. Look at this smile. Look at
It is
this
convincing.
smile.
It is convincing.
Let's see who Billy and Beth have this week for us in the State of Arts.
State Magazine State of the Arts. I'm Beth Badeau.
And I'm Billy Mitchell. This week we are featuring a blues band made up of Bradley students.
Let's welcome John, Trevor, TJ, Ed, and Joe, who make up Road Closed.
What I'm gonna do, and I don't know what I'm gonna say. This girl the other day walked down with my heart in her pocket. Tonight it feel like, oh, just gonna sing the blues tonight. Gonna make it feel alright tonight. What should I do? This girl make me feel so blue. I guess I go out, I shout about, and I go around to the bar and give myself a drink. Oh, I feel so bad. I can't get this girl back into my life.
Thanks, guys. Make sure to check out other great bands November 9th at the Battle of the Bands at the Michael Student Center Ballroom on Bradley's campus. Many bands featured on State of the Arts will be attending beginning at 8 p.m.
Also, November 22nd, check out the Extraordinary Things exhibit at the Hartman Center Gallery. For more information, call 676-7611. For State of the Arts, I'm Beth Badeau.
And I'm Billy Mitchell. Back to you, Warren and Davita.
Thanks, Billy and Beth. Davita, do you think those guys vote at all, Billy and Beth?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I can tell what you mean. But election day, let's talk about this. Do you remember the issue a couple years ago with the Chads? Isn't that what those things were called that kind of hang off the voting forms?
Yeah, how'd they come up with a name like that?
I don't know. Like, I think you were saying earlier, maybe some guy named Chad decided
Came up with it, you know.
Do you think he got rich off that?
I don't think so.
Probably
I don't think
not.
so. Because didn't they eliminate how the Chads worked and everything?
I think so. I think that most of it's electronic now.
I know they could have been called Warrens or DeVitas.
I would have named them Warren Eugene Brennigers personally.
And you could have been famous, and everyone could have been like Warren Brennigers.
Yeah, I think it's a little more catchy than Chad.
Yeah, than Chads. But we'll be right back after the PSA, so stay tuned.
I'm principal of a new kind of public school. It's open up to 15 hours a day, year-round. It has loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. We have medical and dental services right here. Our teachers have more time to teach. Our students are better prepared to learn. There's just one problem. We can't get the kids to go home.
Find out how your public school can be more like this one. Call 1-877-LOVES-TO-LEARN.
I just love our PSAs. You know, I think we should make a PSA about like elections.
About okay.
Like voting.
Yeah.
Like get out the vote.
Whatever you say.
What do you think? How would our PSA go, Davita?
Our PSA go, voting and how everyone should vote in elections and the different ways that we vote. Like back home, you pull the lever, cha-ching, and then all the names pop up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's take it to Reagan Gearhart, who's back with more movies this week. Let's take it to our resident critic.
Hello everyone, I'm Reagan Gearhart and welcome back to the Critics Corner. There's been a lot of hype surrounding the recent release of Spider-Man. Superhero movies have entered the mainstream culture, so here are two films that I feel encompass everything it means to be a superhero. First up is The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is actually a young pilot named Cliff who finds a rocket pack that allows him to fly. This movie recreates 1930s Hollywood, complete with gangsters, Nazi spies, and the growth of the age of aviation.
What do you suppose it is, a bomb or something? Too complex to be a bomb. I don't see any moving parts.
I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
The Rocketeer is a great family film full of action and adventure. Timothy Dalton does a great job of playing the villain, who is loosely based on Errol Flynn, and the rest of the cast does a great job too. There are lots of in-jokes that only the adults may get, but the filmmakers did a great job of portraying the atmosphere of the late 1930s. Next up is The X-Men. This film is the big screen adaptation of the Marvel comic book about a group of power-possessing mutants who live in a world where they are hated by humans. The X-Men strive for a world where humans and mutants can peacefully coexist, and combat those mutants with intentions of exterminating the human race.
There's someone here.
Where?
I don't know. Keep your eye open.
Logan.
Don't you people ever die!
X-Men is a sleek adaptation of everyone's favorite group of misunderstood mutants. While the film doesn't follow a single story from the series of comics, it does provide a good introduction to the characters and paves the way for a franchise. Look for X-Men 2 coming to theaters soon. That's it for this edition of the Critics Corner. I'm Reagan Gerhardt, and I'll see you at the movies.
Thanks so much, Reagan. So, Warren, you had all show to tell me who you voted for. Did you vote for Blagocious or Jim Ryan? Which one? Did I say his name wrong?
Blago sausage?
Blago. How do you say his name?
It's Blagojevich, actually.
Who did you vote for? Okay.
Vita, that's not right.
I'm persuasive. I'm trying to be persuasive.
You're a good politician. That's a good. Those are good political skills.
I'm working on that. I told you.
Yeah, maybe you should just go around kiss some babies. You know.
Kissing babies.
Kiss some babies right on the back of a train.
But I'm gonna go right after this. I'm gonna see who won because I don't know yet. So I'm gonna have to check the paper.
I haven't checked myself.
And the TV.
I feel bad.
I feel bad too.
Day's almost over. I haven't even
studying.
I don't even know who our governor is.
You shouldn't say that.
I know.
But how do you say his name again?
Blagojevich. Now here, you say it with me. You say
Blagojevich. Yes.
Blagojevich.
Well, thanks for watching our election special, and hopefully everyone voted.
And have a good night.
Bye.